coming up? Is Marvin Harrison Jr. going to be unleashed in 2026? Marv spoke to the media, and we got a lot of updates on him, some breaking news on Marv as well. Then, latest on the quarterback situation. Where is Jacoby Brissett, and what does the MHJ think of it all? You're watching Cardinals Today, presented by Prize Picks. I'm your host, Joey O'Donohue, and the first thing I want to do on today's show is manifest Marvin Harrison Jr. finally having that breakout year where everybody says, okay, that's the guy we wanted, we drafted. Like the video if you want that to happen, okay? Put it out there. Put some good energy into the world. I'm a big believer it comes back. So tap that like button if you want Marvin Harrison Jr. to finally have that breakout year next season. And I believe he could. So this is the first update. LaFleur said that Marvin Harrison Jr. will play the Davante Adams role. He'll be an X-wide receiver. Michael Wilson, meanwhile, closer to the core in sort of the Puka Nacua role at Z-wide receiver. I actually like that makeup for those two. You know, good thing LaFleur's coming over from that Rams offense with those two wide receivers. He's going to try and do the same thing. And I think if Marv is going to play that X role, you know, probably think he needs to get a little bigger, bulk a little bit. And it kind of looks like he's doing that. Marv, look at him putting on a little bit of muscle here at his press conference. You can see it. He is in the gym working out. I think if he's going to be that Davante Adams pure X, one, he's built like it now, and that probably makes more sense for him in thriving and getting the most out of him. Meanwhile, Michael Wilson can do it all and play that Puka role, says Mike LaFleur. Why I think this could work, number one, with Mike LaFleur being a new offensive-minded head coach who was the OC for Davante Adams, why couldn't that help Marvin Harrison Jr. when LaFleur worked under Sean McVay, the best offensive mind in football, one could argue, the best head coach in the game right now? And this will be miles better for him than Jonathan Gannon and Drew Petzing being the tandem for Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, think about that. Gannon, no help as a head coach for Marv. And Petzing, he's more of a run scheme guy, and that's why Detroit hired him to try and do stuff with Gibbs over there. But that's not good for Marvin Harrison Jr. And so if it doesn't work this year, then I'm probably losing faith. But I got one last shot for him with this new system in place. Also think Marv can make contested catches. I've seen him do that. Caught a deep ball from Kyler early in the season. I was like, okay. And he wins one-on-one. And, you know, that Cowboys game where he was shaking Deron Bland, like, you see it still with Marvin Harrison Jr., just not consistently. And obviously having Kendrick Bourne in the room now, who's going to play a lot of slot, I think, and Michael Wilson being as good as he was last year, that'll help free up Marvin Harrison Jr. Or, I mean, he'll be a decoy on the outside, but I think the goal is to get him going, being he was the 4th overall pick. And I think we've all realized now the word generational was a bit of a stretch to sugarcoat it and put it lightly. I think that word's getting thrown around a little bit too much. You know, that really should be used like twice every generation probably to call someone generational. So there is that. And then Marv talked about his mentality, something he gets from his father, which is also probably why he got that generational label. He said, personally, I never really look at any positives. I mean, you probably should for your health, but I don't really look at many positives. It's always kind of negatives. I mean, I don't really think about the Dallas game much or any of the games before, just always what to improve on. All right, I don't love that, but as long as he's looking to improve, I think that is the main point for you Cardinals fans. I do wish he'd focus on the positives a little bit more. At least that's my mentality. But I'm not in the National Football League. So as long as he is locked in to bringing the most out of himself this year, that's what matters for you Cardinals fans. So I want you to tell me your confidence level in MHJ bouncing back this year. On a scale of 1 to 100, what is your confidence level at in a Marvin Harrison Jr. bounce-back season? Let me know by typing that number in the comment section. Next up, talk about what he had to say on the Cardinals quarterback situation and look at the latest with Jacoby Brissett and Carson Beck. But first, let's talk about our awesome friends at Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the place to go if you love daily fantasy sports. Player picks on fire right now with playoff basketball getting going, and there's no better place to cash in while watching sports than with Prize Picks. With the social feeds feature, you can share your Prize Picks lineups with your friends and copy lineups with a single click. It includes my lineup. You can find me on Prize Picks, tail my pick, or fade them, but you can see them before I post them on the show if you follow me at JoeyOD1. I got a great lineup. One that I love cooked up here. Check it out. It is a $60 lineup. Payout $171. I'm sticking to my guns here. Stephon Castle worked so well for me on Prize Picks. So more than 11.5 points for Castle. I'm going to go more than 10.5 points for OG Anunoby. And this needs to be the Wemby game. More than 39.5 points, rebounds, and assists in Game 2 in San Antonio. That's my lineup. You can make one just like it, but you got to download the Prize Picks app to do it. New user offer. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code HMA, and you get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Link is in the comment section and description of today's video. That is code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. So Marv made an interesting comment about Jacoby Brissett that we're going to look at here to start the second half of today's show. He was asked about his chemistry with Jacoby, and Marvin Harrison Jr. goes, well, it's kind of hard to do that. He's got to have to be here to do that. Like, subtle shot being taken. He's got a point, right? I mean, Jacoby's not here, so it's hard to talk about them developing chemistry, and this makes it dysfunctional when the Cardinals want Jacoby to be quarterback one, and he's not there. But MHJ did show support for him. His next lines were, I am all supportive of kind of what he's doing. I think he has to do what's best for him and his family. And so, yeah, that's kind of what I have to say about that. It sounds pretty PR answer to me. Just leave it point blank. Whatever, I get it. But if we were going to develop chemistry, he's got to be here. And that's a great point by Marvin Harrison Jr. So what if we talk about what's the latest in Brissett? Well, Josh Weinfuss tells us he was not in attendance in their final week of voluntary OTAs. That source told ESPN. So he continues to hold out for a reworked contract, and this will be the most telling if Jacoby shows up to mandatory minicamp. If he's not there, all of a sudden it's trade rumors up the wazoo. Is Brissett getting cut? What is going on here? Or are they reworking this deal? We'll find that out. So that's what Marv had to say about Jacoby. What about Carson Beck, though, on the other hand? A lot more praise here. He's a baller. I love that he goes out there and has an attitude, that he has a lot of the confidence in himself. He can make any kind of throw he wants to make. I definitely admire that about him. Works very hard. Marv says he really likes the attitude he's seen from Carson Beck, who, let's be real here, Carson Beck, he's got the physical traits you would want. It's LaFleur's dream to have a quarterback that looks like this. We'll see how he plays, but 6'4", 220 pocket passer, 74.7% completion percentage last year in college football. Again, made a lot of it easy for him at Miami. But one thing about Carson Beck that I will praise him for as well, and I think is his best trait, is that toughness. And that's what LaFleur loves about him and loves in his quarterbacks too, okay? So he's got the physical traits, and he works hard. He's a leader. And something that I noticed, early in rookie minicamp, I actually made this photo because Carson Beck was out there running these drills. Now, there was no pass rush, there was no nothing, but he was going all out. Like, you could see it in his face, his energy, his speed. And a lot of people are like, is that Joe Burrow out there? Same throwing motion, same sort of movement around the pocket, okay? Probably getting a little ahead of ourselves here, but as I said, the physical traits are there for Beck. And I like the way he is working. Okay, he is showing up like he is battling. Okay, like he's putting everything out there. Now, we'll see if he has the talent to do it. He might not, but he wants to. Okay, and the want to is important because, funny enough, we're talking about Marvin Harrison Jr. a lot on the show here. I think Marv has innate talent, but a lot of times he's lazy on his routes, okay? In his film, he's dropping passes that should be easy for a guy like that. Beck's the opposite, almost, where he's freaking going to work every single day. I question his talent almost, but he has the physical traits, and he wants to be good. And that is the first step of being good, is showing up and putting pedal to the metal and working your tail off to be great. So Beck, I think, has the work ethic that coaches love and want to see, and I'm seeing it so far from Beck. So I'm rooting for the kid. Like, I really do hope he succeeds and proves me wrong about being a good quarterback. What do you guys think? You think we'll see Carson Beck play this year? If you think we will, type Y for yes. If you don't think so, type N for no. Let me know in the comment section down below. I will tell you, it seems like the Cardinals want to let him sit a bit behind a veteran, and they've got Brissett and Minshew to help do that. But if Brissett's not in the mix or gets traded or we can't work out a deal, then you're probably going down the order, and all of a sudden there's a real shot Beck will play this season. We'll see. I also think it'd be a good idea to get him in there before that 2027 class comes about. That'll do it for today's Cardinals Today episode, guys. Appreciate you so much for tuning in. I've been your host, Joey O'Donohue. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.